What up, guys? Another Adonis review. Today I am doing Skyrim in VR for 2024. Is it still worth playing? I did this before in 2023, and surprise, surprise, I still think it's worth playing in 2024. Now, let's recap and go over what you should expect and why there's benefits, and you get it. First off, keep in mind what you're looking at right now is a updated graphic mod to Skyrim. I'm not sure if this is something that can be done, in standard life with the PC Skyrim. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. I don't know. But normal Skyrim looks PS3 level graphics. Now, with that being said, I've said it before and I'll say it again. PS3 graphics for VR is not that shabby. PS2 level graphics can be in VR and it's still pretty neat in VR. It's still playable. So when you're playing with PS3 level graphics, it's not that bad. So definitely it's playable even with PS3 level of graphics. Even beyond that, with that being said, Skyrim is still hands down probably in the top 10, if doing the math, be safe, 20 best VR games built. Now you may ask why is a game that originally came out in 2011 one of the best VR games? Well, it's pretty simple. It's because Skyrim is one of the best normal games ever created at a certain point. With VR, unfortunately, the market is so slow and unsaturated with indies that half-ass it, that any game that is an actual game, i.e. Resident Evil games put into VR, Fallout put into VR, No Man's Sky put into VR. Any game that actually was a game and succeeded, and now, they put into VR to gift normal people, is already going to be a success because most VR games are half-assed and don't have a good story. Beyond that even point, even if they did a shitty game that was normal and they put into VR, it would be impressive. Skyrim, yes, it's a bit older, but was one of the best games to be made, for such a long time, and they milked so much out of it. So, if you've never played Skyrim in your life, which is like me for a good chunk, I when Skyrim came out, there was no way in my life I ever would have time to play it, and now when I thought I did have time to play it, I refused to go and play a game that looked shitty. And that came out in 2011, even with the mod. So that VR version of Skyrim was the best way of both worlds. It gave me the ability to use my VR, which I wanted to do. It gave me the ability to play Skyrim, this beloved game that I never got to play, that has hundreds of hours of content in it. And it gives you a decent way of looking at it for a fair price when, the market doesn't have, again, that many. So, if you've never played Skyrim and have always wanted to, you should get this game in VR. If you have played Skyrim, but you haven't played it since it first came out, and you want to play it in VR, you should get this. If you played Skyrim all the time, and you're always playing, but you never played it in VR, I would still say you should play it. What does it hurt to play a game that you love in a completely different... I would play almost any game that I love, even if I beat the game yesterday and then today they gave me the option to play it in VR, I would do it because it's a full new experience. Now let's talk about the generals of the game. Like I said, graphically, it's PS3 level of graphics, but put into VR, it's definitely not too bad. Skyrim, as in anything that they make, Fallout, Starfield, so on, has, again, hundreds of hours of content built upon a giant, sprawling map where you are a character you created and you have countless weapons and skills and powers that you find and use. The adaptation of the melee and power system is well, done for the way they've correlated it. You hold a sword or a knife or anything like that, you swing it normally, you hold the trigger and swing and do like a stronger swing. You hold a bow and arrow and you reach back for an arrow and you pull back on the string and you shoot at an aim, just like you would with a bow and arrow. So they've correlated that nicely. Magic spells is a very nice addition. You push your hand out and you can shoot fire and lightning and all that stuff. So it's definitely well implemented, especially for a game that was not made for VR, that has been adapted to it. They've given you all the things you should necessarily expect, which I can't say the same for Fallout. Fallout, you don't have a hand, you don't reload manually. They have guns, but they don't really have guns in Skyrim, so maybe that's why it was a bit more difficult, but I think they did a very good job correlating the weaponry. Like I said, you do get hundreds of hours of content. They have main missions that are trackable and whatnot, but if you've never played any of these games before, a large majority of the game is having absolutely no clue. There'll be missions you'll probably never fucking know you didn't get because there is no indication that they ever existed, and you will have to Google, missions to find ones that you don't know about, because honestly, there's people everywhere, and there'll be no indication they hold a mission. You talk to them, and a random person sitting behind a house could just be like, yeah, I have a mission, there's a bear, and he's raping me every night. Will you kill the bear? Well, the 10 people before didn't have missions, so like, why him? There's no way to really tell. So the exploration and looking and non-stop missions, they also have missions that are non-stopping in a sense, where there's like an assassination type leveling guild you join, and they'll just keep fucking giving you missions. There's no real end to it, which is tough for me because I'm like a 100% person. So I really wanted to get that final mission. They do have a grand finale to that story, but you can keep taking like assassination missions if you want to keep playing the game. The game really can let you play over and over again. So where are we at? 2024, Skyrim, midway through. What do we have here? We have a game where in VR, they haven't given us enough, full-fledged story games, and Skyrim has always been one that's gone above and beyond when it came out, and this is a great way to play it if you never have, or play it in a different way if you have. You get all the tropes of building homes by brick, the weapons, and all the fun stuff you can expect from a Bethesda game. So, like in 2023, same in 2024. There is no negative in this game. It is 100% worth playing nowadays. If you have the option to get on sale, I would. This game normally, I don't know, $30 or something, I think is the normal price for it. It's definitely worth it, compared to other games. It being old gives you the opportunity to get it on sale. I think $20 is pretty normal. If you see it for that, I'd get it. It's a pretty fair deal. And you might be able to get it for like $15 if you're really lucky. But I'd say again, if you have VR and you're looking for a way to use it, Skyrim is a must-have game. You should definitely get Skyrim if you have a VR. Out of the book of games available, this is one of the ones that will make the VR worth it. It'll give you a bang for your buck with it. So, hope this helps. I put hundreds of hours into this game. I did it all standing, which, is better than sitting down. So, lots of positives. I hope this helps anybody if you do play it, because for somehow I convinced you and you put in your hundreds of hours, let me know how it was. And if you hated it and felt like there was something about it that was just terrible compared to other VR games, let me know that too. Later, guys.